Stop calling my Warren. My name isn't fucking Warren.
Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of Turn of the Millennials. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lindy.
And today we are going to start with our millennial moments.
Our millennial moments. Duh, you have to do the theme song. Why did you freeze?
That's true.
There you go.
Okay.
Now you're good. Okay, let's continue.
One moment. Let us continue. Okay. So,
all right. Do you want to start with your millennial moment, or do you want me to start?
I think I could start with my millennial moment.
So what made you feel old this week, Steph?
So I was actually traveling this week for the first time in 2 years, which kind of felt nice. But I went to the United States in Boston, where my head office is for work. It was for work, so of course it wasn't really like a big travel, but it was still going away. And then, of course, me being the Canadian in amongst a lot of Americans, I got to thinking of like the that old Molson Canadian commercial, the I am Canadian, my name is Joe and I am Canadian.
And Chesterfield is a sofa.
Right? Exactly. And when I looked it up, I realized it's 21 years old, so it's now US legal drinking age. Yeah.
That really fucking hurts.
Right? So it was a moment. I had right. It had So it had a kind of like symbolism because I was in the States and US drinking age and just it cut my core a little.
I think that just added another crow's feet to my face.
Right?
Wow. I didn't know it was that old. I thought maybe like Canadian drinking age, like no. Alberta drinking age is 18. Like 18? That's what I was thinking. But I find it weird that Canada provinces all have different drinking ages.
Quebec is also 18.
I find that weird.
Yeah, Quebec 18 as well.
Because in the States, every single state is 21, is it not?
I believe it is. I think there used to be different states, but then I think it got fully regulated, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Americans, let us know. We have a few of you.
I do know, though, that the year my mom turned 18 was the year the states turned to 21 for their legal drinking age. She was fucking pissed. She got a fake ID and went anyway.
That's funny.
She'll never admit it though, but she told me one night. Probably doesn't remember. She told me.
That's okay. That's the best times.
So
your millennial moment this week.
My millennial moment was, so Aaron and I went to the Beat Goes On, and for those of you who don't know, the Beat Goes On is like a used music store. You sell movies and CDs and stuff like that. And we walk in, and they have a ginormous selection of vinyl, like huge. I was like, when did vinyl come back? And not that like it was around when I can remember, because it was more of like a 60s, 70s, like that's when tape cassettes started coming in the 80s and CDs or whatever. But what got me was like, we were looking through the CDs and we're like, we don't even have a way to play CDs. So why are we looking at them? Like we've got, other than like maybe our DVD players, we have no CD player in our car. We don't have like just a normal CD player. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, we have no way of playing our music from the older days, which is why I love Spotify, because it has almost everything.
Almost everything. Certain special edition of songs are not found on it. And also that was part of the reason why I got my 2019 Pathfinder versus buying a brand new Pathfinder. Apart from like, the $20,000 difference in the price.
Yeah.
It had a CD player still in the 2019, and it was the last model year of the Pathfinders that have a CD player, but then it's also got above it all of the like connection and the screen and everything for all of the Bluetooth and everything like that, but still has that CD player.
Yeah, my Aaron and I have like our truck is a 2019 Dodge Ram, and we don't have a fucking CD player.
That's funny. Yeah, no. I
can hook my phone up. It doesn't even have an auxiliary hookup. Like it's got like the USB ports and like an actual fucking outlet, but no way to play a CD player. Not even like a portable one. Like not even the old school way like we did in my GMC van with the computer speakers or whatever. Like nothing like that. But yeah. We mustn't dwell.
But no, not today, Lindy.
Not today.
No. We mustn't dwell. No.
No, not today. Not April 8th.
Because today, not on Rex Manning Day.
Not on Rex Manning Day.
Not today.
No. Rex Manning.
So as you can tell, Mona. I get your loving out to your front door.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, today's
if you don't know that song
episode is Empire Records, because
if you've never seen this movie, fucking watch it before you listen to this.
This is definitely a movie that like we watched quite a bit. I personally had the remixed edition and I didn't, so that's the one I watched for a long time. And I know Lindy watched it like lots and lots before then. And I always remember, and I had to put this in my notes and everything, was in high school, always Monique being with the Sinead O'Rebellion.
Shock me with that deviant behavior.
Always she would say that, and that always has stuck out in my mind forever. Peace, like, Mo, we love you.
I would vote that the best line in this movie.
Yeah. So funny.
That one, and the other one that Gina says, where she's like, well, now, Deborah, along with your bald head and your ever-growing, ever mutilating metal appendages and your brand new neo-Nazi boot camp makeover, the boys will come a-running.
Let's not argue. Lines. Just rip.
best two lines, and they both belong to Gina.
Yeah.
Though Lucas does have great fucking lines in this movie.
Lucas is hilarious. He's so
where shall we start at the beginning, Steph?
All right, so we'll just do our basic synopsises. So It was originally released September 22nd, 1995, and it only earned $303,841 at the box office, classifying it as a bomb. Yep.
I was 12.
I was 10.
You were 10.
I was 10. So I didn't really see it when it first came out. I definitely didn't find it until DVD many years later. And it actually same thing. It became a cult classic of a movie many years later. People found it. It was based off of the person wrote it based off of their experience working at a Tower Records, obviously.
Tower Records.
So it stars Anthony LaPaglia. I think it's Italian. LaPaglia. I don't know. It's Italian. Who knows? Or I'm assuming it's Italian.
But the older I get, the more I watch this. As the older I get, the more attractive I find him. Especially after he finishes drumming, and while he's drumming, I know I have a thing for drummers. Obviously, I'm engaged to one.
It's fine.
But
I know it's as we get older, people. I know
Rory Cochrane.
Our tastes change. So we have Rory Cochrane, Debbie Mazar, Robin Tooney, Liv Tyler, Ethan Embry, Renee Zellweger, Max Caulfield plays Rex Manning.
Coyote Shivers.
There's just so many people in this movie.
And the guy who plays Warren, I just don't remember his name. He's been in a few things.
Oh, okay.
I just don't remember his name. I know he was in Boys Don't Cry, and that, not talking about that movie. Yeah. Good movie, great movie. Just
great movie.
Horrible movie. Anyway, yeah, no, this movie is just fucking star-studded. It is absolutely packed.
And
go ahead. It tells the story. Basically, it's a 24-hour period of a bunch of people who work in a record store is the synopsis of the movie. But also I noticed on Amazon, because it's got both the normal and the special fan edition, they both have two completely different descriptions. One says just a 24-hour period in the lives of people who work at a record store. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is almost the same, but it also adds that they're fighting against the man to try to save their mom and pop record store from becoming a franchise.
Oh, and I tried to watch the Remix Addiction because, like I said, that's the DVD I've always had. I'm pretty sure it's in the basement still, but I was on Prime. I have Prime, so I tried to watch it, and it was not the Remix Edition.
Not only that, like, okay, so I think they mixed up the titles on Amazon, right?
Which happens, I'm sure.
Which does happen, but I'm pretty sure the special fan edition, which is labeled as the normal Empire Records, which is 107 minutes long, is for rent or buy. The other one you can watch for free. Yeah. And the other one is 91 minutes long. So they definitely mislabeled the title of this movie on both of those on Amazon.
Yeah.
Come on, Amazon, get your shit together, Bezos.
Right? Seriously. Come on, Bezos. Damn
it. Like, you're fucking better than, well, are you? Or is he? I don't know. Is he?
Anyway.
His ex-wife is.
Right? Right. He's just another rich billionaire in the search for the
oligarch. We're calling them oligarchs now.
Oh, okay. All right. You've reached $999 million. Here is your trophy. You've won capitalism.
Fuck billionaires.
We start out with Gina and Lucas closing the store. Joe is trusting Lucas to close the store.
Big responsibility, Lucas.
Right? I don't know if he can handle it.
Oh, but Joe's rules were very clear. Keep my hands off of his beer,
count the money twice,
and drumsticks.
And count the money twice.
9,104.
I counted it twice.
So he $9,000 for an intake of a record store in the 90s on a Friday. Like, that's really good. Because
was that Friday or Thursday? Because April 8th. What you said was a Friday.
Yeah, but April 8th was a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
April 8th, 95 was a Saturday. So when Lucas closed the store, it would have been a Friday. And I tried to find the average like daily sales of a record store in the 90s, and I really couldn't find any numbers from the 90s. But like what it says right now is that record stores profit anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a week, which is fucking gross.
Well, it's
like no wonder there's not a lot around anymore, considering most of our music is online now.
Well, it's the exact same thing as Blockbuster. We were watching a Netflix Blockbuster documentary last night, so same kind of thing. Like it's the medium's gone, and so everyone's online now, and yeah, I know. And that millions and billions of dollar industries that have down to, like I said, $100 a month.
So when Lucas is closing up, he's counting his money and shit. He goes through the drawers in Joe's desk while he's smoking his cigar, playing with his drumstick, and drinking his beer. Mm-hmm. The only thing he abided by, the only rule he did was count it twice. That's all he did.
Right.
So he finds a package that they're going to be turning Empire Records into a music town, which is a, franchise. More fucking rules, more restrictions, no fun, like just a bullshit changeover just to make more fucking profit. The economy, whatever. So he decides to take that money to Atlantic City. Oh, I do have to mention though, in the special fan edition, they do have they have a deleted scene in this part of the movie in the very beginning where like a lady knocks on the door and is like, oh, let me in. I just need one thing. And Lucas is like, we're fucking closed. Like, go away. And then he lets her in and then he fucks her. What was the point of that fucking scene?
I don't know if he sleeps with her or anything.
Oh, he totally fucking does. It's definitely implied because it happens between when Gina's talking to him and then to the next scene when he's like drumming the money with the Joe's drumsticks. It happens in between those two scenes.
No, I know, but she's just like kind of like trolling and like saying about who her boyfriend was and stuff. So I don't know if it's really full on like they sleep together.
That's what I got. That was what the implication was to me. Because that's why he's in such a good mood that he's like, I'm gonna break 3 of Joe's 4 rules. I don't know. That's what I got from it anyway.
It's so nice and sunny out today. Our neighbors are sitting on their back porch. Sorry, I was just I could see them from outside the window, so that was a random thought. Squirrel. Anyway, so back to Empire Records now. So yeah, he goes to Atlantic City and he goes to the Trump Taj Mahal. If you noticed,
I did.
Which, God, Trump. Anyways, so he first bets. He goes to the craps table. I was gonna say roulette, but it's craps table.
Like 22.
22-year-old goes to a craps table, being a young cocky little kid, puts the $9,000 down, and he wins.
Well, no, when he's walking through the casino, and he pulls the arm of someone's slot machine, and it wins them big. He walks past another crap table, and he goes 20 black 22, and that's what it lands on, and wins a bunch of people money. So he's
lucky, but you just also used up all of your luck.
So he puts the money down.
Wins obviously,
doubles it,
so he's got $18,000,
208,
and then he tries to bet again. Let it ride.
It's like that's an $18,000 bet. So then he goes and they do it and he loses, and bro goes, you used to have $9,000. I'm like, bitch, he used to have $18,000. And then Blondie McSlutty McGolddigger she is. He used to be cute. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. He still is cute. Stop. Go gold dig somewhere else. I'm sure Trump's rying around his fucking goddamn building at that point. Go find him. I'm sure his marital vows mean nothing to him anyway. So, and at that point, he was married to Ivana, I think, in the 90s, 95. He was married to
no, they might have just been going through the divorce.
Whatever, who fucking cares?
Yeah. So then I remember he says like, "Will I be held responsible for this?" Like,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course you are. Come on, dude. Like, seriously, why are you even asking this? Like, you literally just lost the whole entire store's day's money. Like, come on.
He's like, I wonder if I'll be held responsible for this. Yes, you fucking will.
Right.
Yep. And then like the next scene is in the morning. What's AJ and Mark show up for work
to try and open the store, and
they're
Lucas
waiting for Joe
on his motorcycle.
Yeah, and he's got like a bucket of quarters because he obviously tried to like win some of his money back. It didn't work. And I love when he's like
sluts.
The sluts. When Lucas was like, he's like, I do not regret the things I've done, but those I did not do. And then AJ puts two and two together. He's like, fuck.
What'd you do, Lucas? What
happened? Guess he didn't live up to the responsibility of the position, hey? I literally can recite this movie word for word off by heart.
Mark with a C, with a K.
He has the best stoner laugh. He's so funny.
Him. Right. Pre Seth Rogen, like, let's be real. He was great stoner because he was in a couple of movies where he kind of played that sort of esque thing.
Well, yeah, because like he was in National Lampoon's Family Vacation. He was in Dutch and
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait. All I Want for Christmas. Like
there was just a bunch of
a lot of stuff. He was in Once Upon a Time.
Harold and Kumar. He played the one of the jerk that Harold works for in the first one.
Yes. Where they like totally fuck them over at White Castle like the next day.
Tries to, but then he like stands up to them.
Yeah.
Back to the store. Gina and the Corey scene where Corey's like, I'm gonna offer myself to Rex Manning. 16, bitch, and you've never done it before.
I think she's 17.
Even still. I think
she's 17. What do you mean by that?
What?
Being that age and not doing it yet. What do you mean by that?
No, the fact that she's gonna offer herself to this Rex Manning guy like at 17. Like I feel like that's just a little bit like I'm not slut shaming her, but come on, at least try like at least.
I know. Okay. But just
I don't know. It just seems.
Put yourself, 17-year-old Steffi, who was your crush, your celebrity crush at 17? Who was it?
I don't know if I still would have gone through with it though. I say that I was with her. Like I know, but still.
I can tell you right now, I fucking would have. Yes, I fucking would have. I would have jumped Jacob from O-Town like that. If I was over the age of, because I'm 2 years older than him, but I was in love with Zach Hansen. At 16, I was 14, so that would be wrong. I was 18, he was 16, that would still be wrong. So I'd have to wait till my 20s, but still, like, if we were the same age and I was 17, fuck yeah, I would.
That would have been me.
That would be an amazing first-time story. Are you kidding?
Me.
I lost my virginity to a fucking celebrity. Yes. But like, we're going to get to that scene, but I feel like I need to mention it now that I feel like when she proposed that to him, he knew because he asked her how old she was, right? And she said old enough. So she did not specify her actual age. Knowing this, I think he was deliberately disgusting to turn her off.
Yeah.
Because he knows better than I feel like that's what I want to believe. Especially
better to not do it with an underager.
Yes. Okay. And especially in this special fans edition, because it's a different scene, right? Because in the normal edition, he says he unzips his pants and says, well, rock and roll. And then she's like, oh, disgusting, and leaves. But in the special fan edition, he's like, I hope you like the taste of blue cheese.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought it was like, that's why I was like, why does this seem like so different?
Yeah. Like, I feel like he was purposely disgusting to turn her off.
Mm-hmm.
I think he thought it was probably better to kind of break her heart or whatever than to statutory rape her, because that's what it was. It wouldn't have been sex.
Absolutely.
It would have been statutory rape.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, she's 16 and he's old. Like, that's why the whole situation just seemed so weird to begin with as well. Because for her to offer herself to him. Like, she should also, like,
if he was also
kind of maybe know better, right? And that's what you were saying. Zach Hansen and Jacob, they were closer still to our age, not someone like, there was no way that I was going to be like, ooh, Denzel Washington. I want to, like, you know, if I was like 16 and he came along or something, because he was like man of the year or whatever.
You know what,
like that.
Though?
Like, I don't know if I would like.
I mean, like, a lot of girls our age when we were like 16 loved Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp. They were older, like. They were probably like 10 years our senior.
True.
But but still, like, I think Rex Manning had, even though he comes off as egotistical and just, but how old is Gina? Is Gina of age?
I don't know. They
is.
don't. I think so.
She is, because they do what's that word? The fuck is that word?
Personify
her. Portray her as slutty, right? But I also think that I think she's older. Like, I think she's over 18. Because I think her and Corey are just friends because they work at the same place.
And they just they happen to really get along and stuff. Because she's got like a car and everything, and it seems like Gina's more established.
Side note.
Yeah.
I fucking want her truck. I want that fucking truck. A convertible pickup truck? Fuck yeah, I want it. That's a glorious truck. And I'm sorry, Corey, there's 24 usable hours in every day. Fuck you. Work a full-time fucking job, and then we'll talk.
Well, that's why she's got her speed addiction, which we'll do anyways later. Okay. So
sorry, we're getting off tangent.
We're getting off tangent. So
off topic.
They all come to the store and they decide to play the music, the opening music for the morning. And so
anybody got brown? Anybody got brown?
So they do this by they take a pack of M&Ms, everybody gets an M&M, and then they call it a color of M&M from the box.
How about orange?
And it ends up being Mark. And then they all groan, but then they all start singing the song. So.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but this song. Okay, so because throughout the movie, Mark is portrayed as kind of like a metalhead a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little bit of a metalhead.
Stoner, but metalhead.
But this song is not metal.
It's 90s rock.
And I'm sorry, AJ, but you seriously have a giant fucking stick up your butt?
To think it'll be sterile.
Yeah, you're like, oh, listen to this shit is gonna make you sterile. And then he fucking takes the lighter to the CD. Fuck you. Who are you to fucking damage someone else's property? And sorry, AJ, but you have shitty taste in fucking music.
But he's a stupid artiste because of the fact that he glues fucking nickels to the carpet.
I love that though. I love that because art, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Mm-hmm. The art, what the quarter thing tells me. So for you guys who haven't seen it, obviously, Joe knocks the bucket of quarters out of Lucas's hands when Lucas comes in, and Joe is like, "Where's the money, Lucas?" And he's all like, "It's in Atlantic City. It's in Atlantic City. What's it doing in Atlantic City? Recirculating." Yeah, great lines for Lucas. Yeah. So where the quarters fall is where AJ glues them down, and I think that is such a great, like just a show of artistry. Because those will forever be there, and everyone will know that was because Joe got pissed at Lucas for stealing $9,000 from him.
No, I understand, but at the same time, 90s they just had those like beatnik artiste peoples, and that's what you mean. Like, fuck him for being that, burning the CD, and it's like that's the kind of highbrow person that he would have been, like, those
pretentious fuck.
Yes, yeah. Artist and pretentious.
I really want to know what the amount was that he glued to the floor. I tried to find it. It didn't have anything on it.
And then I find it funny that what he wants to tell Corey he loves you by 1:37 p.m. That is an
excellent time.
Yeah, excellent time.
Side note though, did you know that the guy that plays Burko, Coyote Shivers, at the time of filming this movie, he was Liv Tyler's stepdad.
Yep. I was reading that in the IMDb.
He's 12 years older than her. He's 12 years older than her. Because her mother is BB Buell. Yep. And obviously her biological father is Steve Tyler of Aerosmith. But I found that really interesting because I didn't know that until today.
Yeah. I read it last night on IMDb.
Yeah, that's where I got it from too.
And then at this point, Deb walks in and goes straight to the bathroom. And shaves her head. And Robin Tooney actually did shave her head for this scene. You can tell when you're watching it that she's shaved her head for the scene, because then later that year she ends she's
having to wear a wig in Craft.
In the Craft. So when she films the Craft, it's actually a wig.
And I need to ask, why the fuck do they have clippers in their bathroom at work?
Because Joe needs them for a date or something, like, I don't know.
He has long hair.
Maybe sometimes
nobody else in that store has a buzzed head.
Maybe
that not the right shaver.
Maybe
not the right thing. Not even the same thing.
Back hair.
I don't know. I got a date. Shave my back.
Well, I'm giving you other options here. Maybe someone left them there from previously. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Going back to Corey talking about Rex Manning.
Yeah.
And how she was talking about how she loved him in the family way. I love The Family Way, the actual show, starred Rex Manning, Max Caulfield's actual real life sister-in-law, Haley Mills, of the Parent Trap fame.
Or Passion.
No, that's not her.
Passion's later. What was it later on? Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, but her name wasn't Mills. Her name wasn't Mills in the show.
No, I know, but that was the one I was thinking of. I was like, it wasn't Passions. It was that later on.
I forget. But Passions was her sister's show. Her sister was Tabitha.
Her sister was
Tabitha. And Tabitha is the one married to Max Caulfield.
Oh, okay. So I was still in the same family. Same family. I knew something.
Yes.
I just remember Passions.
That was such a great fucking show.
It was.
And then also something else I found really fucking interesting that I didn't know about this movie was that it was completely filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, which all of you should know is home to One Tree Hill.
Yes. And I love North Carolina. We've driven through it while going to Florida, and it's so their highways are fucking stupid because it's 2-lane it's 2-lane highways like the whole way through the state. But so it's ridiculous. So there's so many people going through the state, but it's like 2-lane highways, but it's also a beautiful state. So
but yeah, so looking through my things.
Deb, also another thing with like this whole Deb storyline, like they get pretty like real with her like storyline, which I thought was pretty, I don't know, the 90s, they just seem to get very raw and real with a lot of movies and stuff with these like storylines with like the, you know, slicing your wrists or like the, you know.
Yeah, like they definitely try to touch on it because I think the 90s is when movie and TV makers were starting to realize we need more representation.
Yes.
And I don't mean people of color, which it should have been, but they're more or less talking about like how Corey is a speed freak because she's got all the pressure from her family to do perfect in school and be the perfect daughter and be the perfect person. And then there's Deb, who also has mental health issues because like her mom is not around and she's having relationship issues, and
Gina's classified as the slutty because of the way her mom is, and like all of these different tropes and that. And
I think if you read into this movie a little bit more, like if you overanalyze it like we do, I think what they're trying to do is portray that there's more than one different type of mental health issue.
Yeah,
there are several different things, and trying to break a generational pattern.
Well, we didn't know that that's what they were doing then.
Now, in hindsight, yeah. At 12, I was not fucking thinking about
I don't even think they knew that they were doing that, but I think they were definitely trying to represent that there are different, like, because mental health wasn't really the forefront, but they were definitely trying to show that there are different types of people out there. We are all living different kinds of lives, and we need to accept each other. But now when we look at it, it's like, oh, you're definitely trying to represent different mental health types and different, you know, addictions. Because also, like, at this time you had also very much into the AIDS crisis, and the gays were coming as a forefront into the 90s. So it was another thing that was coming. We had lots of representation coming.
This wasn't very long after AIDS was GRIDS, which for you who don't know was gay related immuno. What the fuck is it?
Immunodeficiency?
Yes.
Syndrome?
Whatever. But yeah, no, it was like AIDS was originally gay related something disease syndrome or something. And then they realized, oh, it's not just amongst the homosexual community. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Which and this movie, I think I lost my train of thought. Fuck. I don't know where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
Representation.
Yeah, no, just general representation. Like, obviously nothing AIDS related is in this movie.
No, but yeah, there was definitely lots of.
They touch on addiction, and they touch on relationship issues and trauma and family pressure with Corey getting into Harvard, and
Joe and Lucas, and we find out with Lucas how his parents, and
his mom turned him over to the state at 10 for being a bad egg.
Right, like there's lots of different at play here. Lots of different things at play. Or even when she's in like the thing, what, you gonna fix me, Joe? Like, are you gonna fix me? And then he's just like, well, you know what, Deb, you're doing a good job. And she's like, that actually made me better. That actually feels better. And it's like, watching that now, I'm like, I kind of totally understand that. Just that one person that
I took that line as sarcasm.
No. No,
I took that line as sarcasm.
Maybe back in the day I would have, but now I don't, because when you've gone through like your own mental health and that one person just like, you're doing good, you're like, wow, that just literally just not a much, but it just makes you feel that little bit better. So I totally get it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I mean. This movie hits deep, guys. It totally hits deep if you wanted to.
Yeah. Getting back onto a little bit of a lighter note. Watching this movie as a kid, like 12 and up or whatever, I have always wanted to just fucking cut off my hair and shave my head like Deb did. Sometimes I've always wanted to do that. My sister did it.
I was just gonna say, didn't your sister do it?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that because that didn't go very well. Yeah, like that is just something that I don't know who doesn't want to fucking do that.
And I think now in this day and age, it's a lot more easier because you can find cheap wigs nowadays, so that for the days that if you didn't want to just be that, you could buy like a couple of different wigs to put on and stuff like that. There's a lot, I've seen it's a lot more cheaper and easier nowadays for that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I also, after when Deb comes out of the bathroom and AJ confronts her about like the bandage on her wrist, and she's like, oh, I went to Rock and Roll Heaven last night and it wasn't on the guest list. Now, excuse me, I've got to go to work. Yeah, I know this movie word for word. When Lucas is like, she's fine, she's in the store, like she'll be okay, blah, 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 or whatever. And AJ's like, what's with you today? He's like, what's with today? Or whatever. I want to know what Lucas was like before that day. What kind of personality does he have? Because this is the only Lucas that we know.
Yes.
I want to know how normal he was, because to me, he doesn't seem like a normal person. He seemed to me like always an eccentric type of personality.
But his like over positivity doesn't seem like this is what he would normally be like.
Who knows where thoughts come from? They just appear.
Mm-hmm. Right? I love that line.
Fucking love that line. Love it.
From they just appear.
Yeah.
So at this point, they start setting up for We Mustn't Dwell.
Rex Manning Day.
I heard you on the wireless
back in 52.
So that song, every time now I hear it, I'm always just like,
on you.
Not Rex Manning Day. And so Lucas, not because Joe actually confined him to the couch once he found out about the money. We didn't really say that. Joe tries
to sit down, shut up, and don't you move. So I don't want you to leave from that couch unless it's to get me $9,000.
Grounds him to the couch, tells him not to leave. But as they're all getting ready for Rex Manning Day, he wants to, have fun. So he picks up one of the cushions and then walks away. And then Mark's like, oh, so I guess he didn't leave the couch. And he's like, well, not the whole couch.
Yeah. And then that was when he was talking to Mark about his band. He's like, you got to think of a name. And Mark was like, well, my name is with a K. So I was thinking of naming my band Mark with a C. So it's that psychedelic trip thing.
He's like,
always mess with their minds.
Keep them. Yeah, because this is when he sees Warren or someone.
The shoplifter!
He sees someone shoplifting in this oversized jacket and all of this.
Where did he get his running shoes from? Is that a MacGuffin?
I think so.
Why were his running shoes just sitting
laying
there?
By the stairs, right?
Like, do they get shoplifters often? Is this something that Lucas does on a regular basis? So he knows he needs to have running shoes at the store? I'm sorry, but nowadays, no, you are not supposed to do that. You see someone shoplifting, you have to let them leave the store with the store's property, or you cannot charge them for shoplifting. At least where I've worked anyway. You have to let them leave the store with the product.
It's the 90s and it makes for a funny story.
Which, fuck, do I love Gina's announcement. Right? I fucking love her. Attention, Rex Manning fans. To your left, you will notice Night Manager Lucas chasing a shoplifter? Okay, maybe I don't know it off by heart. He will be caught. He'll be caught and cooked and fried in a vat of hot oil and served to our first 100 customers. Yeah. Just another tasty treat of the gang at Empire Records.
Yeah.
Ready, steady, go, and all the things you say. Did you know that Warren Beatty, like the guy who was his stunt double, actually broke a rib when he ran into the car door?
I don't blame it. That's pretty. It's a pretty.
That's probably door. Why he hit the ground and went, oh shit.
Right. And I love it because it's like he's sitting in like what would have been a brand new 1996 or like 95, 96 Mustang. And you just look at it and you're like, oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, when I saw this like as a teenager, because I've loved Mustangs forever. So when I saw this, I was like, Lucas, you could have damaged that door. You could have picked a different vehicle. Oh, good Lord.
Why don't you stick those CDs up your butt? Because it would hurt a lot,
Warren. It's like, how old are you? Old enough to shove my foot up your butt and splatter your brains on the wall?
Yeah, he's a juvenile.
Yeah, he's juvenile. And he's just like, he's like, no. Hits him in the forehead. No.
No. Tap you. No. Oh, Warren. Definite amateur.
And then they like take Polaroids.
Rap. Metal. Rap. Metal. Whitney Houston.
One of those rap albums was Dr.
Dre.
I noticed that. Yeah. And then when Rex Manning comes in and they're all dancing around, like Gina's wearing just the Music Town apron. She's like, I think Music Town is confused on their no revealing clothing issue. I think so. Revealing clothing. Like
starts dancing.
Welcome to Empire Records. May I service you? I do have to say though, I love Deborah Bazer's look in this movie. The red hair, her piercing blue eyes, her like newsboy hat, and like her getup, like her outfit that I fucking love it. I think she's adorable.
Yeah.
Love her.
Let's be real. Her eyes is what makes what's her $1 million feature. We all know.
Oh my God. Her eyes are amazeballs. Like amazeballs. Huh. And have you ever noticed that Rex Manning looks like he's constantly wearing too much white eyeshadow? Like even in the video for like Say No More.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's wearing white eyeshadow.
Maybe that was the point. They're trying to make him more like,
his hair looks exactly the same in the video, and it does when he walks into Empire Records. He's all like, he cut it too short. No, he fucking didn't. It's the same fucking hair. Stop it. You're just being egomaniacal and you're being a dick.
That's what they're trying to portray. That's why he does that.
Yeah. He's the fucking I'm the best kind of celebrity when he's actually just a washed up has-been.
And so basically, this is when Rex Manning comes, obviously, as we enter the store. And so now, and I love when they show like the line of when he finally comes out and everyone's like, oh my gosh. And then they've got the one like male guy that and he's in like he's
wearing that purple blouse with like the peasant cuffs.
The peasant cuffs. Yep. Yeah. And he's like so excited. And he's like, oh, and then the old lady, Mon amour, say no more.
Say no more, mon amour. And she's like, oh, you were my favorite singer in high school. Who's your favorite singer now? You.
Still you.
Then, the girl,
the teenage girl.
The teenage girl is actually Ethan Embry's sister.
Oh, okay.
The one that came for an autograph with her mom, or for her mom. She's like, I don't even know. I've never heard of you.
I don't even know who you
are. Good. Did you see the look on his face? Fucking good.
Bruise his ego a little bit.
Take him down a fucking peg.
Yeah.
Dick. He's such a jerk. Such a fucking jerk.
And then what's his face? Mitch comes in to try and get the money and, flash to hello, I am Rex Manning. My beatnik father turned it into a record store.
Yeah, because it used to be Bed Bath and Bidets.
Yep.
Snaps for you.
Snaps around.
Also, so what I find funny, because like now they're waiting on the cops to come pick up Warren, and what's his nuts? Mark comes into the back room to get him a bottle of water, and Lucas asks him like who his favorite singer is, and he says Axl. I find that odd. Like I wouldn't expect like knowing Mark up to this point in the movie, I wouldn't take him as a Guns N' Roses fan. Like maybe, yes, like I would take him as like, yes, he would be a fan of Guns N' Roses, but I wouldn't really expect him to say Axl's his favorite singer if he's really into metal music. Like it seems to me like his favorite band is
listening to Gwar or whatever, yeah.
And Gwar and Guns N' Roses
are not really
but there's also to be said, like I like a lot of different types of music. I wouldn't have taken like Axl to be his favorite. Yeah. But I love it when he asks him the question if Axl, do you think if Axl saw Rex Manning broken down on the flat tire on the side of the road, do you think he'd stop and help? And he's like, tick, 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 tick. Does Axl have a jack? Ding. Like I love that part.
No, Axl would put his foot on the glass and Warren.
Yeah. He's like, put his foot on the gas, take him, and
where's all this hostility, Warren?
I take that sucker out. Back when you could actually demagnetize like the alarm thing on CDs.
Alarm CDs and that.
Yeah. Now I don't think you could.
No.
But I think we already talked about that. The best lines. Well, Sinead O'Rebellion.
Yeah. And then I think some point Joe's angry jump solo comes out, and if you want blood. Okay, so I also need to talk about these listening booths, because this is something that you children don't, which also is part of a millennial moment as well. That could have been our millennial moment today, but we wanted to start out differently. But still,
these were starting to phase out as we got to that age.
Yes.
Because I remember like being at like Sam the Record Man or Sunrise, and they had listening stations, like the ballet dancer at Empire Records, where she's just at a station.
At a station. We didn't have booths. We just had stations. Yeah.
But where you could listen to whatever you kind of wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, that's just something kids will never like understand nowadays, is like going to like the record studio and listening to a CD on, like picking those headphones up off the wall, picking the CD and listening to it before you buy it. And
I really want to know, because before Joe goes to talk to Deb and tells her she's doing a good job, like he's walking past the booths and looking in them, and then one of them he knocks and goes, I want to know who was doing, like who was in there and what were they doing, because I know they do show a couple that
during
were like going
his
at
drum
it
solo
during the montage.
Yeah.
But was it the same couple? Was it someone just kind of like playing with himself or herself? Like, I want to know what they were doing. They never showed it.
Of course not. It was PG. It was still a PG-13 movie. They can't show these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I find it's funny that Deb is filling out the quarterly tax returns.
She's probably the accountant for the store.
But I just feel like at a young age, that's quite a feat for her. Good job, girl. Like, I just thought that was like, huh.
I hope she's getting paid. Like, I'm hoping she's getting a good compensation for that.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, you know, for a young age, like, does she know to do it properly? Is she getting properly compensated? Is she just, you know, or is it something she's just wanting to learn? Like, I just thought that was funny that like a young person is filling out the quarterly tax returns versus Joe or Mitch. Like, they're the owners, managers, you know?
Yeah, you would think that they'd have like someone who's a bookkeeper, but you know what? Like, that was the same thing at like Giant Tiger. Like, the girl that was responsible for all of our bookkeeping and accounting and stuff, like she was still on the floor and doing the retail stuff with us. Like, but like he said, like, but how do we know how old these people are? Because we know Corey is 17. Yeah. We know that. AJ probably like 19,
because he talks about going he talks about going to art school, so he's probably not too far into his 20s.
And Burko is living in a fucking shack on the river behind the store, and he's dating Deb. So I feel like her mom is MIA.
I feel like they're like, gotta be like
early 20s, like maybe 21, 20, like super early 20s, like maybe 22 is my guess.
Yeah,
around there. So it wouldn't really be that surprising to me that Deb would know how to do that. Plus, back then things were more lenient. Like, you didn't have to have a degree for this or a bachelor's for this or a diploma for this. Like, you could just go into a job and fucking learn it.
Yeah, it was towards the end of that, but yeah, I agree. It was
like programs were starting to come out and more requirements were starting for those positions, but we're just overanalyzing this. Fuck you, English media in grade 11, whatever.
Yeah. So we now have the Rex Manning throwing each other. We have first we have Corey throws herself at Rex Manning, and like we kind of talked about it earlier. So then she goes up to the roof.
Wait,
and then
did we talk about it on here, or are we talking about it before we started recording?
Ooh, I don't know. I can't remember. So
I don't remember. Should we just talk about it again?
Just talk about it again, just in case. So Rex Manning, I think we talked about it at the beginning. Yeah, because I mentioned why she was 16. Either way, she throws herself at Rex Manning, and he basically disgusts her, so she kind of runs away up to it.
Like,
and apparently, I was reading on IMDb that like it actually, so in the running time, it happens like this happens, and then apparently it's 7 minutes between the time from when this happens to when AJ's up on the roof or something. So it actually makes itself 1:37.
AJ checks his pocket watch, which, by the way, how fucking cool is it that he has a pocket watch?
That's what it is, the pocket watch.
And it's 1:30. And then exactly 7 minutes later
in the movie,
in real time and in the movie, is when Corey comes up to the roof after she throws herself at Rex.
Yeah.
After he's all like unzips and is like, hope you like the taste of blue cheese.
Yeah. Being a jerk to her. So then he tries to say he loves her.
It depends on what he's eating.
Right. I'm not a fan of blue cheese either way, so it doesn't matter.
He needs to eat more pineapple.
So Corey goes up to the roof, and AJ wants to tell her he loves her, and then of course she's just thrown herself at Rex Manning, so she's all like, I can't handle this right now. I can't do this right now. And I don't blame her. Like, no, give me. And he gets mad at her for this. And it's like, you know what? I don't care if you're mad at me for this. I asked you for a few minutes because I just need a few minutes. You need to just chill. I don't care. Anyways.
And okay, but I also understand his reaction too, because he literally like he should have just given her some time, but he felt that him getting his feelings out and telling her how he feels was more important than giving her a minute to compose herself.
Yeah.
Another version of the patriarchy, of the gaslighting, of the manipulation, of bullshit like that. And then later on, when she goes to apologize to him and is like, I don't think of you that way. And I think we have something more special than that as friends and whatever. He's like, that's bullshit, Corey. You know it's bullshit. No, it's fucking not. You are negating her feelings. She is telling you how she fucking feels. And you are telling her that's not how she feels.
Yeah.
Fuck you, AJ. Fuck you.
Yeah. That was the 90s, guys. 90s.
Hindsight.
I also found funny when they're going around and they played the Romeo and Juliet song and Ethan Embry walks down the stairs. That's Max Caulfield's stepdaughter.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And I found it funny because that song is also used in Can't Hardly Wait for like kind of an important scene with Ethan Embry. So I just thought that that's a funny like little link with those.
Yep.
They're only like
and
apart.
Ethan Embry and Liv Tyler were also in That Thing You Do Together.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Doing that thing you do.
That movie's so good.
Breaking my heart into a million pieces. Thank you, Tom Hanks, for that one. Although, can I just say how cool is it that they have like a fucking rooftop hangout?
That's pretty cool.
Like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I love hanging out on roofs.
But how come there's nothing else in this building above them other than this record store? Like, shouldn't there be like apartments?
Not to mention,
or like
in
other build businesses?
In the back, in the staff room, they have stairs that go nowhere.
See,
like unless there's like a door that leads into like Joe's office. Because you have like the count out room where Gina and Rex Manning fuck, where we'll get to that later. Then there's the staircase that leads to nowhere, and then Joe's office. Like I want to know where those staircases go. But this is only a 2-story building, and the whole record store is 2 stories. Because remember, Mark is like, we can't dwell, not today, because that's when he runs down the stairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, not on Rex Manning Day.
Not on Rex Manning Day.
Yeah.
So after Corey doesn't sleep with Rex Manning, she kind of freaks out on Gina as well too, and so Gina ends up throwing herself at Rex.
Well, no, it was because Corey basically slut shamed Gina. She was giving her bra back, and Gina was like, well, don't worry, we'll get you another guy. And Corey's like, well, I don't need to be like you. I don't need another guy. I don't need to run off and like do that. And she's like, what, turbo slut? Is that what you mean? Like, I got to go off and do every guy I see. She's like, well, you certainly seem to enjoy it. Like, fuck you, Liv. She is owning her sluttiness. No, she is a confident woman. She knows what she wants. She goes after it. She fucking gets it.
But at the same time, don't go after Rex Manning. Like it just, as a girl and as a friend and a thing, that is like kind of,
like there's the girl code. There is the girl code. This definitely was not slutty of Gina, but this was really bad friend of Gina.
It was almost like she was just proving what Corey had said to her. Like that was literally just proving what Corey said.
But I think that might be why she did it. Because she was like, oh, you're going to slut shame me? I'll fucking show you what a slut is. And
I know.
Because she's of age. She's consented to it. She's the one that came on to him, which by the way, wrong fucking color.
Yeah, that was not navy blue. That was just
royal blue.
Those are royal blue, not navy blue. Not navy.
In what fucking world is that navy blue?
I agree. No. I keep saying that every time. That's royal. That's not navy.
Side note, jockey's super comfortable. Just saying.
Sacks.
But yeah, so then they're all like in the back and they're like, well, where's Rex? And Deb is like, I got a better question for you, Joe. Where's Gina? And they figure out they're fucking in the count out room.
Cash out office, yeah.
Yeah. So Luke, and this was right after Joe beats up Lucas for calling him superb. And
which we'll talk about in a second as well.
Can we go back to that? Sorry, let's go back to that scene.
Yeah.
Way back to that scene. So
way back to that scene.
So after Corey and AJ have their blowout and AJ fucking gaslights Corey and tells her that her feelings are bullshit and she takes more speed, he goes to Deb, tries to make Corey jealous by using Deb listening to like Say No More, Moaning More in the store. And she's like, oh, veto, 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 blah, 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 right? And he's like, no, I'm sexy. And she's like, no, you're stupid. And he takes her hand and puts it on his crotch, for starters. So he's trying to make Corey jealous using Deb. This guy's an asshole. The more I watch this as I'm getting older, because I'm closing my 40s, like, he's a fucking asshole.
I never really liked AJ whenever I watched it.
I didn't either. I didn't either. So then at that point, that's when Joe gets mad and is like, laugh it up, dance it up, because this is going to be a music town by next week. And Lucas is like, what are we supposed to do instead, Joe? And he's all like, keep it up, Lucas. He's like, you're a superb manager. Say it again, superb. And he takes him and like throws him in the office, beats the shit out of him. And he's like, you know, you deserve that. He goes, yeah, I know. So when they're looking for Gina and Rex, Lucas is like, I'll check the sofa. I love that.
I'll check the sofa.
I'll check the sofa.
And no one goes anywhere. If you notice, they just go to other rooms in this back room so that they can still see what's going to happen. And then Corey comes in because she's like, I'm not feeling well. Can I go home? And then she goes to the cash out
now.
She goes to the cash out office and it won't open. And she's like, where's everybody?
Where's Gina? Where's Rex? And she figures it out and
throws her cash jar down and gets angry. And then at this point she has her Gina and Rex come out first, actually,
and Rex is like, what, no applause? Like, really?
And then
really,
AJ
Rex?
Although AJ is a jerk, at least he does go after Rex Manning for being a dick. And then he gets sucker punches him. Yeah.
How could you, man, with Rex Manning?
Right.
Oh, that's also another thing. That's also another different scene, was when Rex is leaving, because they're just like, you're just a washed up has-been and nobody likes your music and your hair is stupid. In the original one, he's like,
it's different. Fade away.
He's like, why don't you all just fade away? But
the other one, he's like, the remix one, he's like, maybe you're right.
Yeah, maybe your husband, maybe you're right. And then he leaves.
Yeah.
So
that's what I thought weird. I was watching this one. He's like, maybe you should just fade away. And I was like, wait, what? What did he? No. And I thought for a minute it was a Mandela effect, because I was like, this is not what I remember. But then they changed it for the remixed edition.
They just changed the edit. Yeah. So then like Eddie like walks past Gina and he's like, how could you, man, with Rex Manning? And then Corey's like, I hate you. And she leaves. And then Joe's like, why don't you go home? She's like, oh, am I fired? He's like, I haven't fired anyone today. Why would I start with you?
Which I thought was hilarious. And then why would I start with you, Gina? Just because you slept with Rex Manning? No.
And then Corey comes back in and she's like, is this how your life's going to be? Sleep with every husband until your tits fall down. They don't want you anymore. At least I don't hide what I am. Right, Corey? And then she has her
closeted speed freak. These are diet pills, and throws them at her. And then
I can study all too if I was chowing down speed, you incontinence wench, for your perfect little face, your perfect body, and your perfect family, and your perfect skill, and your perfect future.
And so, of course, Corey freaks out because she's on speed, and, she's freaking out. So she has a freak out, which is hilarious because she does the whole, trashes the store, and it takes 4 guys to take this girl down. And then, I don't know if we mentioned it earlier or not before, but there's at this point when they're taking her down, there's a scene where Deb, in the remix version, which I'm used to, Deb runs out and she's like, Joe, let me take care of her. Like, I can take care of her. Like, let me take care of her. But when I watched it downstairs on the Prime, and they didn't have it.
It was the original version that just didn't have that scene. Yeah.
They just take her out down and cut her out, and then she's in the bathroom with Deb. So it kind of didn't make sense. You're just like, what?
Which I really think that scene, that few seconds of the scene was way more important. Yeah. In order to explain the scene in the bathroom with Corey and Deb.
Right. Because they have why all of a sudden they've never really been friends, and why all of a sudden is she helping her and having this moment with her?
Because in the beginning of the movie, it is portrayed that Deb absolutely fucking hates Gina and Corey more. Like, she hates Corey. And I think it's because she views Corey as having the perfect family and the perfect life, and has everything together. But then she finally after Corey's freak out, she realizes, wow, everybody has their problems. And that's what she says. She says, I guess nobody has it together just like me, huh? Or whatever. So I think that was a turning point in Corey and Deb's relationship, hugely. Because by the end of the movie, they're all friends and one big giant family, right? But yeah, no, I think that was really great. And then that in turn helped Corey helped Deb.
Yeah, because once it kind of helped her out, she was like, okay, Deb needs to realize what the world would kind of be like without her. So she hosts a funeral. Stages a funeral for Deb.
And I love in the cut scene, because in the original, the scene's not in it, where she hands Deb her invitation to her own funeral. And she's like, I'm not coming. She's like, you don't have a choice. You're dead. Like,
again, these are things that I'm just like, see, I so love the remix edition, because there's some good scenes that, like, some scenes that are really good.
There are some good edited out scenes, but
the one that was weird, like, which kind of also sort of, but it's stupid, but kind of good, you all don't understand, is at the beginning, her sister comes up on a bike and gives Corey her acceptance letter to Harvard. So that, and then later when her dad sends her flowers, it kind of makes sense and stuff. So there are some little scenes that do sort of make sense in it, but it's also, you're like, well, her little sister didn't.
Yeah. Because before I ever saw like the special edition fan mix or whatever, because I don't think we had that one, that part never occurred to me. I always assumed that she was just in Harvard, like already going to Harvard, because AJ talks about it, like going to Harvard in Boston. And I can do without the sister scene. Like, I don't think that one was very necessary.
But it was definitely one of the things where it's like, okay, it kind of does help you progress with that story at least a little bit. Oh, we also forgot with Warren when he gets taken away by the police. I'll be back and you'll be sorry. So after Deb's funeral,
I am sorry.
So during Deb's funeral, Warren comes back and starts shooting up the place.
No, it's not. It's not during her funeral. It's after.
Is it after?
It's well after. It's
we're in the back room.
So Mark is having a meltdown because he's the only one in the storefront, and Paige is like, help me, help me, help me. And AJ goes out to help him. And then Ethan comes back. Mark comes back to the funeral. And then that's where,
so it's going.
That's where Lucas mentions he's a bad egg. Deb unwraps her wrist and is like, I tried to kill myself with a lady Bic, a pink plastic razor, blah, 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 or whatever. And then the shooting happens. Like, I just fucking watched it. It's not during that scene. It's not during that scene. I'll find it. It's in my notes.
Yeah, because then Deb comes out. She's like, I talked to God, and we said, what's up?
She says, what's up?
She says, what's up? Sorry.
Well, anyway, when the shooting starts.
AJ's behind. I'm pretty sure AJ's behind the counter.
Yes, you know what? Yeah.
And that's what breaks up Deb's funeral. Yeah, is the shooting. Right.
But I think why Deb was the only one that figured out he was shooting blanks. She had no fear. She went directly up to him, right into the face of the gun. Like, I think she was the only one who realized he's shooting the gun. Nothing's getting hit. Nothing is getting damaged.
Or at the same time, she's literally just like, I don't give a fuck. Kill myself. I don't give a fuck. If you shoot me, whatever, you giving me what I already kind of sort of wanted at the same time. So again, that no fear, but yeah.
Yeah, she's like, so I talked to God, and she says, yo, what's up? And she wants to like lose the gun. And I fucking, what do you want, Warren? Stop calling me Warren. My name isn't fucking Warren. Best fucking line. Yeah. Best fucking line. I love that fucking line. You never find out his actual real name.
No. And then
you find out mentioned.
He just wants to work at the store.
Yeah, he's like, so you're gonna get me. He's like, Lucas stole 9 grand from you and you don't do dick to him. So what, you're gonna get me a job now?
I'm like, Warren, do you just want to
work at a record store? No. I think you're lying. Yeah, seriously, we could just recite the whole fucking movie,
right? But we won't for the so that at this point everyone chips in to a little bit of what they can to try and help to save the store, and then they only have so much money and they're like, damn, what are we gonna do? And then Mark, genius that he is, because there's obviously, because of the shooting, there's obviously some news cameras have shown up in front of the store and things like that. So Mark decides to go out in front of the store and these news cameras, and he's like, yo, I was a witness, and yeah, I saw the whole thing, but forget that. Tonight we're gonna have a big party here. Save the man, save the Empire, damn the man. So he says basically they're gonna have this big party at the Empire to help save it.
I do just want to make a note of the funeral scene really quick.
Yep.
Because a lot of the people there, like Deb and Lucas and AJ, they get a lot of shit off their chest, as does Corey and Gina.
Yes, that was when Corey and back.
And she's like, I don't want to be like my mother. And she's like, you won't be like your mother if you don't want to be like your mother. And she wants to sing in a band and like all of this. And I feel like that was such an important moment in all of their lives because it was super therapeutic. It was very cathartic. And I think it was a massive bonding moment that really, like, that was the moment in the movie where you saw they really became a family. And a lot of people don't express their feelings to others until it's too late.
Until it's too late. Exactly. Like, so I feel like it's an interesting therapeutic tool. Like you're saying, it's a very interesting therapeutic tool.
Like what you would say at a friend's or family's funeral, say it to them while they're alive.
Right?
Make it count while they're here.
We never do. I love you, Lindy.
I love you, Steph.
Like that meme that they say on Facebook, say I love you as much as it is, make it awkward.
Also, before all of this happens, Mark has his little hallucination
because what's his face gives him the brownie. Walt gives him brownies.
It's Eddie.
Eddie, sorry.
He's wearing a Walt shirt, but his name's Eddie. Did he put mushrooms in it? Not weed? Because I'm pretty sure weed doesn't fucking make you hallucinate. I've been smoking it for 20 fucking years and I've never hallucinated.
Well, I've eaten it and I've eaten it and it's never made me hallucinate.
Like I've had mushrooms fucking make you hallucinate. Weed does not. So I'm pretty sure he put fucking magic mushrooms in his goddamn brownies.
Who knows?
Just saying. Just thought
he never actually says what it is, but I always thought it was weed. And then I was like, no, once I started edibles, I was like, no.
And then something else we forgot to mention, when Rex Manning leaves and Joe is like, here, take your purse. He's like, where's Jane? Like, she quit, pal. Forgot to mention that Jane fucking upped and quit because everybody was laughing at her because she worked for Rex Manning. Because they were like that teenage USA Team Boppa type of shit, right? Jane, did you counter in the amount of teenage boys compared to the amount of homosexuality amongst teenage boys and Rex Manning fans? Like,
no,
she actually tested well amongst the male teenage market. And then she fucking quits. And then she comes back and she's like, hey, I heard you need a new night manager. And I love
because
Joe
she secretly likes Joe.
I love Joe. Me, Joe, you, Jane. I fucking love that. It's so adorable. So then, where are we?
Throw the party outside the Empire.
My notes are mixed up. That's why.
Which I found it was funny, like totally unsanctioned live events, like no kegs, no permits, anyways, there's so much just.
So when they were getting the money together for Lucas, like the $9,000, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then they decided to throw this party and raise more money for it and whatever. Jane throws in $600 left over from the Rex Manning expense account. Would she not have to pay that back? Would that not be accounted for after she quit? Like when she tells her company, whatever, that she quit, would that not be something that they would be like, okay, well, your expense account is closed and we need that money back if you don't have proof of how you spent it on your job?
Oh, I'm sure she could find proof.
You know what I mean? MacGuffin.
She could just also find proof for it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fairly true. Yes. And also, wait, nope, that's later. I'll mention that later. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page of my notes. My notes are so fucked up. Like I had to do it on a weird fucking notepad. Yeah. So then
I love at the beginning of the party when people start to show up how they've got like the preppy girl group that comes out, and then it's like the hippie stoners, and then it's the box van, and then it's the skaters, and then it's the slutty girls wearing the aprons like Gina, and it's like, and it was just funny that they literally like cliqued everybody out, like stereotyped.
The 90s were really the best time to be a teenager, I think. Like partying age teenager.
I guess, yeah.
I think so. Like that was pretty fucking epic party. I kind of wish I was there. Like the old ladies, the grandmas that were there in their muumuus and their hair colors, buying beer and like, sharing their beer. Like, oh, that's just adorable. I fucking love that. So then, okay, so this movie scene, the song played for it is called Sugar High by Coyote Shivers, who plays Burko. Okay. It is on the soundtrack, but not this version. This version is so much better. And this is Renee Zellweger's actual singing voice.
Yes, it is.
This was not dubbed. And I think she is an amazing, I love the raspy kind of singing voices that she has, like Joan Jett and like Betty Davis, and like just
and this was before auto-tune as well, people. Yes. So
like, I absolutely love that Burko was like, you're fucking doing the lead, like right now, just fucking sing it. And she did it and she fucking killed it. And super happy, super proud of her.
Right.
Fucking love that. Like there's so many songs in this movie that were not on the soundtrack at all.
It was kind of like a situation where you could have had it like Dazed and Confused, where you could have released a second.
Well, there's a lot of songs on the album that I don't even remember from the fucking movie because they're played like in the background. You don't really even hear them.
Yeah.
But other songs, like the one that they sing to when they're opening the store, seems to me, like that song's not on the album, and they play almost the whole half of the song, and it's a huge part of the movie. Like, why the fuck was it on it? Or if you want blood, like why wasn't that on the fucking soundtrack? Unless they didn't have the rights to put it on the soundtrack.
Licensing,
like that would make sense. Because we did bring this up in our episode about soundtracks with formidable opponents, right? Where like there are
always a problem.
Licensing issues, but
always a problem.
So then fucking their party's full swing. Mitch fucking comes in, who, by the way, he reminds me a lot of that guy that on Gilmore Girls, where he was like the really boring guy that Emily tried to set Lorelai up with at dinner, like in the first or second season.
Okay.
Do you remember that episode? It was around the time that you first get introduced for Christopher.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And
I think so.
Like, he looks exactly like this guy, sounds exactly like this guy, but it's not this guy.
Really?
It's not the same actor. But I'm just like, the way he talks and everything, like, who took my money? Who took my money? Like, it reminds me of that fucking boring guy from Gilmore Girls.
That's funny. So he comes in and Joe offers he gets mad and he finds out that there's no money and everything like that.
One of my employees needed it.
Yep. So he's
what a good
like,
boss.
And then he's like, well, I'm going to buy the store from you. And then he's like, let me sell you the store. Real cheap.
He got a great fucking deal.
Right. So basically he ends up getting the store from Mitch because Mitch is, well, first he quits actually. And then Mitch can't handle the store for like the 2 seconds that he's doing it. And then he offers to sell it to him real cheap. So they get the store and Empire Records succeeds. Haha.
Damn the man. Damn the man.
Save the Empire. So I don't know if we mentioned it while recording or not, but it was actually originally supposed to be over 2 days.
Yeah.
In the plot, but they ended up editing it down to just the 1 day.
To making it like a 24-hour period.
Yeah. I would have been intrigued to have the second day.
Yeah. And I would be really interested to know what, like, because they cut 40 minutes out of it, out of the movie. And apparently they cut out 3 significant characters.
Yeah. A bunch of characters. Yeah. So.
I'm super curious. I want to know what the actual, like, what it was actually supposed to be. Like, who were those other 3 characters?
Right.
Like, that's what I want to know. If they're in the movie, if we see them in the movie at all in the background, or like, who are they? I want to know them. I want to know who they are.
So I also need to talk about when Rex Manning is doing Gina his purple fringe shirt.
Cowboy shirt.
Cowboy with the fringes and the tassel he's coming down. And a nice shade of purple. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Rex Manning, Rexy, you so sexy.
Oh, Rexy, you so sexy.
Right.
Oh my God, yes. Oh fuck yes. Those fucking fringe. Oh man. Oh fucking man. So moving on along the party, fucking what's her face, Corey. She goes up to the roof, pushes AJ and yells at him and is like, you have so much talent, more talent than you know.
You're so special and you don't even know it.
Yeah. You're so talented. You're more talented than you ever know. And blah, blah, blah. I do love you, but I didn't know it was love because it's a different kind of love. And like all
on your stomach, whatever.
And then he tells her that he's going to art school in Boston so he can be near her. And then she's all like, yeah, falls into his arms and la, 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 la. What I want to know, when did AJ know he got into art school? How long has he known? Because at the beginning of the movie, Joe asks him to be the new closer. And he's like, well, I could definitely use the money because they just raised my rent, right? But then by the end of the movie, 24 hours later, he's going to art school.
Maybe he must have got. Maybe that's a scene they cut out that we didn't get. That he got.
Or maybe he decided not to go to art school after Corey initially rejected him.
Maybe he applied and just like, because Corey, same thing. Corey got her acceptance letter during the day, so why wouldn't he necessarily get an acceptance letter that same day as well? Which is only in the remix, not the original, but. So maybe he got a Boston acceptance letter later and then just didn't say anything. Again, that scenes that we weren't told about. So maybe, I don't know.
I know. I thought that was interesting.
Agreed.
That it was never really touched on because like at the beginning of the movie, he doesn't say a damn thing about art school. And then by 24 hours later, he's going to art school in Boston. Like, unless he decided to apply, but
he wouldn't know he got in.
He wouldn't know. Like, you can't tell Corey that you're going to art school in Boston if you were only just applying.
Yeah.
Like if you hadn't already been accepted. So that tells me he's already been accepted, that he already fucking knew. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, that's a little fucking stalkerish. Just fucking saying.
But she said that at one point they were best friends. So I guess maybe they know each
And then he was secretly in love with her though.
Right.
You know this.
And how does he live on his own if his rent is being increased?
Again, I think he's like 21, 22, something like that. Like he's over 18.
Yeah.
Like they cannot have a sexual relationship just yet.
No, of course not.
They gotta wait. Like, but she's graduating, so she'll be 18 soon.
Maybe she's 18 in like July.
Yeah. And also, why was AJ the one fixing the sign? Should they have not gotten a professional for that?
Maybe he was just getting so annoyed with it that he's like, I just don't want to be down with these people in these groups. I'm angry, so I'm just gonna be up here and try to fix the sign and brood.
Oh no, because Joe sends him to fix the sign.
Oh.
So I'm just like, sorry, unsafe work. I would refuse that.
It was the 90s. We didn't refuse on
yeah.
safe work.
Yeah, that's true, because you didn't really know better. So then at the end or whatever, they're all dance. I love the song at the end of the movie. Watching the whites of her eyes turn red. I love that song. It's such a good song.
Yeah. So they're all up at the top of the roof dancing and being happy that, you know, they get the empire back now.
I love Gina and Lucas when they're dancing. They're dancing close, like they're together, they're holding hands like this, or like this, or whatever, how it, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like staring into each other's eyes as they're like dancing. They've got these goofy grins on them. I'm just like, they would make such a fucking cute couple.
Yeah.
They would be adorable together. Like,
right.
Like Joe and Jane are adorable together. And I love Jane's outfit with the suspenders. I love that. So
yeah. Guys, y'all want to do original 90s attire? Like, watch this movie. I didn't realize how many crop tops there were, though.
I noticed that in like the scene where I think the camera was angling down at the party from where they were performing on top of the sign.
Yeah. I didn't realize had that much crop top. Like,
there was a group of girls like right in front of the camera that were wearing the black crop top with baggy jeans and like their boy underwear sticking out that we talked about in Crossroads.
Yeah.
When that was around, like when that was
TLC type thing, whatever.
Yes.
But like, and it's funny because like
90s all the baby doll shirts and dresses.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like, I realized that there was like a lot of like, there's a lot. Well, now they're just called crops instead of baby doll t-shirts, but there were crop shirt. Like, because I was like in that age where I wasn't like quite, because you know, at that age, at like what, 8 or 9, you're not really gonna wear a bunch of crop tops or like baby tops as much because you're just not quite there. And then by the time I got old enough to maybe wear them, they were already gone. So it was like. So I didn't realize how much there was them. And then now that they're coming back around, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of short tops again.
Yeah, a lot of like fucking midriff bearing tops, and that's all.
But the thing, well, not even midriff bearing, but the thing is like they're wearing their jeans up here, and then their shirts are going to here. So it's kind of like, it's not really midriff bearing. It's just sort of like grazing.
And you know what?
Grazing the tops of their high rise, because I just probably got so far away from my mic.
No, I can still hear you just fine.
Okay.
Like I get that. But so I bought new jeans the other day. Couldn't find a pair of fucking jeans without rips, without fringe at the bottom, without them being skinny jeans or oh yeah, I told you about this when I was at your house the other day. And I finally tried out my new jeans that I bought, put them on for the first time yesterday, and they're still fucking mom jeans. They still fucking come up to my belly button. And I don't understand how girls, like, it looks good on other girls where they wear their jeans that high and they've got the crop top and they're showing about this much of skin, which is like between like their rib cage and like just above their belly button. Like, I see that on other girls and it looks fine. On me, like, I look like fucking apple bottom.
You just gotta have the confidence to rock the shit, because actually I don't
feel like I have the shape for it. Like, I feel like my hips get fucking huge. Like, I don't like the way the high-waisted jeans look on me. I want my fucking low-rise back.
Well, see, here's the thing, Lindy. You can't shop. Well, and actually, which isn't terrible if you've watched any of these, like, fast fashion things, and I'm pretty sure I brought it up. Start going to the thrift store. But yeah, because that's probably your best bet to find your old pants. And then plus, it's actually better for them buying new clothes. It's actually better for the society and better for all of us to buy. And that's what I've been starting to do recently a lot more, is I've been going and getting a lot of my stuff at the thrift stores and stuff like that instead of versus buying brand new. I still get like my underwear and certain particular intimate items at brand new, but
so the best outfit award for this movie goes to Corey, because she's wearing that like Angora sweater with the plaid skirt and the high top docks.
Gina's is pretty cute though too. I do like
it is,
hers.
but it's not typical 90s. Like, it is 90s, but it's not like, when I think 90s fashion, I think Corey's outfit more than Gina's outfit.
Deb's.
If that makes sense. And then also, yes,
Deb's tank top with the baggy pants. Yep.
Yes. The guys I'd have to give to Mark, because he's wearing the skater pants and
AJ though.
With the chain, the checkered shirt and the baggy sweater
over top, like that's a very
socks with the ripped jeans.
That's a very 90,
But the chain that Mark's wearing is very 90s.
But like Lucas is kind of classic. Burko's just kind of, again, classic, like rocker. Like, they're not nothing.
I guess they all are. Like, they're all very typical 90s outfits, obviously, because this was 95 when this was released. But I just think Corey's outfit is like the pinnacle. Like, I think 90s movies or fashion, girls fashion, I think plaid skirts a la like Clueless or Corey from Empire Records. Like, it was definitely a fashion I loved, but never got to really wear, because I wasn't really into skirts. I was more of a tomboy. So then after the dancing scene, roll credits. And then during like the last half of the credit, you see Eddie and Mark sitting outside the curb of Empire Records just talking about music and everything. Yep. That was a legit scene. Like that was a legit conversation that was happened between Ethan and the guy that plays Eddie. It was in between takes that the cameras were just rolling and they decided to just throw it on at the end of the credits.
That's funny. That's
because like, so that was actually their conversation, their thoughts, their feelings on whatever, on the bands that they were talking about.
Bands that they were talking about.
I love this movie.
This movie, it's cult classic. You know, it's amazing.
It's right up there with Dazed and Confused. Like it even has a Dazed
I was gonna say
sticker on the fucking cash register.
Have a nice days with that happy face on the cash register. Yep.
Yes.
Like it has, it's just like it. It's that quintessential 90s movie with the 90s music and it just represents that era in time. Like if you want to know what the 90s was, you watch it, and this is what living in the 90s kind of felt like.
And I have to give props to Erin, my sister, because she is the one who introduced me to this movie. Mm-hmm. Because again, you were 10. I was 12 when this movie came out. My sister was 16 when this movie came out. So when it came out on VHS, like she bought it right away and she watched it. And like, I just happened to watch it with her. Like it's not something that like, it's one of those things where I saw it in passing.
Yeah.
And then it seems interesting and funny. So I sat down and watched it with her, and then I'd watch it with her again, and then watch it with her again. And then it just
more and more
on and on and on. And I know this movie like inside and out. I fucking love this movie so much. So good. So fucking good. Such a good movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's on Amazon Prime.
It is almost also 30 years old. Just saying.
We're gonna just keep that on the DL.
Just saying.
Dazed and Confused is older.
I know it is.
By 2 years. What? So is Clueless.
1992, isn't it?
Dazed 93.
Oh, I thought it was 92. Well, it was so that if it was filmed in 1992, that means it was filmed 30 years ago.
Also, while I was Googling shit for this movie, it said something about Renee Zellweger being in Dazed and Confused. And I'm like, that was Joey Lauren Adams. What the fuck? So
That's
I looked it up and she's literally girl in blue truck. She's the girl in the blue truck in Dazed and Confused.
That's funny. So she's
because I'm just like, I was like, are you confusing her with Joey Lauren Adams?
Yeah,
like,
that was like
because
me too.
that. And then I have another note here that I feel like I need to mention. I just have to find it. I was like, I hate that others don't know this movie as well as I do. Because it says, oh my God, I can't read my fucking handwriting. Oh, when Mark is watching War and he thanks Eddie for the brownies because he hallucinates or whatever. He's like, thank you, Eddie, or whatever. I read on one fandom, like one fan quorum or whatever, someone had commented, now, is he talking about Eddie, his friend that gave him the brownies? Or is he talking about Eddie, the lead singer of Iron Maiden? Iron Maiden's not even in the fucking movie. He was watching War, and obviously he was thanking Eddie for the fucking magical brownies that he was given.
Right.
You're a fucking moron. And I probably sound extremely egotistical and pretentious about this, but I deserve it. I've watched this movie hundreds of fucking times. And if you're going to comment online about a specific part in a movie that is a cult classic like this, you better know your fucking shit, or you are going to get ripped a new asshole by pretentious, stuck up snob types like myself.
And there you have it.
The end.
The end. That was Empire Records in a nutshell. No.
To the Louvre. Oh man, but no, this movie was so fucking good. Like, what has it grossed so far? Did you mention that? Because I know you mentioned its opening box office.
I don't know if I saw what its total gross is at this point. I'll find out 1 second. But
domestic box office total as of that can't be right. Theatrical performance was 303,000. That was what you said, right?
Yep. Yeah, probably not. It's stupid.
I don't know. We don't know what the to date is. It's got to be like in the millions with like DVD sales and fucking soundtrack sales and shit.
Probably
streaming. Like it's got to be. I don't know. Either way, it's a cult classic. It's a fucking fantastic goddamn movie. It spawned several high-profile celebrity careers.
Yes,
like Liv Tyler, Renee Zellweger, right? Like, and a lot of these people, a lot of this cast are in CSI type shows. Like Anthony LaPaglia, he's in one. Rory Cochrane was in CSI Miami. I think, and AJ was in CSI New York.
Not when I watched it.
No, I think he was actually in Miami as well with Rory Cochrane. I think they were both in that same one. But yeah, you haven't seen it, fucking check it out. Great fucking movie.
Yes, And it's a great movie.
Yeah. And please give us your thoughts on it. Tell us if we missed anything or messed anything up. Probably didn't, because we're fucking awesome and we know what we're talking about.
Well, we may have missed stuff, but we probably didn't mess it up.
I don't think I said anything wrong. I mean, with the amount of times I've seen this movie, I would be surprised if I got something wrong. I know, y'all. I know I'm full of myself. Whatever. Get over it.
On that note,
I think that's our time.
That's our time. We will see you guys next week. You can find us on our socials.
Our usuals. It's been over a year. If you don't know by now, what the hell are you doing?
And we throw at the end anyways. Yeah. So you're good.
Yep. So have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your day, y'all. And happy Rex Manning Day.
And we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked it, be sure to check out our previous episodes on our website at www.millennialspod.com. And also, you can check them out on Spotify, Anchor, Google, or Apple Podcasts. While you're there, hit the follow and subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. Also, you can follow us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Turn of the Millennials Pod, and like us on Facebook to leave a comment and a review. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next episode.